Have you ever found yourself scratching your head and wondering where all your cash went at the end of the month? Or have you ever wished you had more savings, but just don't know how to make it happen? If so, you're not alone. From not saving for emergencies to ignoring small expenses, we'll discuss some common mistakes people make with their finances and how to avoid them. Let's get started. Number 7. Not setting financial goals. You see, when you don't have specific goals in mind, it's easy to make financial decisions that aren't aligned with your long-term interests. Maybe you splurge on a fancy dinner or buy something you don't really need because it makes you happy. But these kinds of purchases can add up and prevent you from reaching your bigger financial objectives. On the other hand, when you keep your goals in front, you're more likely to make mindful, strategic decisions about your money. You might choose to save more, invest in your future, or pay off debt instead. The key is to make your goals specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This is known as the SMART goal framework, and it's a useful way to ensure that everything stays realistic and achievable. Number 6. Ignoring small expenses. It might seem counterintuitive, but it's true. Those little expenses that we often overlook, like that daily coffee or those impulse purchases, they can really add up. Before you know it, they take a big chunk out of your budget and leave you with less money to save or use for other things. But don't worry, there's an easy fix for this. By simply being more mindful of your spending habits and making a conscious effort to cut back on those small expenses, you can free up a lot of extra cash. Maybe you can brew your own coffee at home instead of buying it every day, or you can limit your impulse purchases by making a list before you go shopping. It might take a little bit of effort at first, but trust me, the reward is worth it. Number 5. Impulse buying. You know that feeling when you're out shopping and you see something that you just have to have? Maybe it's a new dress or a shiny gadget, and before you know it, you've whipped out your credit card and made the purchase. But here's the thing. Impulse buying is a habit, and a dirty one too. Think about it. Every time you make an impulsive purchase, you're taking money away from your savings or potentially putting yourself in debt. And let's be real, that's not what we had in mind for our New Year resolutions. So, how do you stop this habit in its tracks? One way is to give yourself a waiting period before making any big purchases. Tell yourself that you have to wait a week or even a month before pulling the trigger. This will give you time to really think about whether you truly need the item or if it's just a fleeting desire. Another tip is to make a budget and stick to it. This will help to ensure that you're not overspending on unnecessary items. So the next time you feel that urge, take a step back and ask yourself, is it really worth it? Number 4. Relying on one source of income. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I have a stable job. Why should I worry about having multiple sources of income? Well, here's the thing, relying on just one source of income can be risky. What if something happens and you lose your job? What if you have a medical emergency and can't work for a while? These are just a couple of examples of situations that can really shake up your financial stability. One solution to protect yourself is to start building multiple streams of income. This could be through things like investing in the stock market, starting a side hustle, or even renting out a room on Airbnb. By doing this, you can achieve more financial security and it helps you save more money. And let's be real, who doesn't want to be able to save up for that designer bag or the dream car you always wanted? Now, I'm not saying that you need to quit your job and become a full-time entrepreneur. But having a backup plan can go a long way. Number 3. Not taking advantage of discounts and deals. It goes like this. You see something you want, you add it to your cart, and then you check out without even considering if there are any deals or discounts available. But chances are you are overpaying on purchases and missing out on some serious savings. Make it a habit to be on the lookout for discounts and deals before making a purchase. This could be as simple as using coupons or signing up for loyalty programs. And don't be afraid to ask for a discount if you don't find one. If you don't ask, you get nothing. Another tip is to stay in the loop about deals and discounts by signing up for newsletters from your favorite stores. Many retailers offer exclusive discounts and deals to their email subscribers, so you could be missing out if you're not signed up. Number 2. Not saving your raises or bonuses. I totally get it. After working hard and earning a raise or bonus, you want to treat yourself and enjoy some of that extra cash. And while it's definitely important to reward yourself every once in a while, it's also crucial to make sure you're saving some of that extra income. Every time you get a raise or bonus, it's an opportunity to boost your savings. But if you're not securing at least some of it, you could be missing out on some serious financial stability down the road. Set a savings goal for each raise or bonus you receive. This could be as simple as setting aside a certain percentage or even just a flat amount. Bonus tip: automate your savings by setting up a separate savings account or using a tool like Digit. This way, you won't even have to think about it. Number 1. Not saving for emergencies. You never know when something unexpected might happen: a car breakdown, a medical emergency, or some other surprise expense. And if you don't have an emergency fund in place, it can be tough and stressful to come up with the money to cover those costs. You may have to turn to credit cards or loans, which can end up costing you more in the long run. So how can you start saving for emergencies? Set up a separate savings account specifically for this purpose. Automate your emergency savings with automatic transfers from your checking account. I guess now you're wondering how much of that sweet paycheck you should be setting aside for a rainy day? Well, the general rule of thumb is to save at least 20% of your monthly income for emergencies. But really, the amount depends on your own personal situation and financial goals. Don't forget to also think about your monthly expenses, any debts you might have, and any other financial obligations you've got going on. And just to be on the safe side, it's a good idea to have enough savings to cover 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in case of a long-term financial emergency, like losing your job or having a big medical expense. Got it? Good luck! Thanks for watching our video on money-eating dirty little habits. We hope you've learned some helpful tips and tricks for cutting back on those sneaky expenses. Remember, every little bit counts when it comes to saving for your future. Don't forget to subscribe and join the money-saving revolution. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.